Hello and welcome to this pit stop for Vengeance, designed by Gordon Calleja and published by Mighty Boards. In Vengeance, each player is going to play a normal citizen who's been wronged by a gang, and they're going to be looking for vengeance against the bosses of the gang that has wronged them. Each game is going to start with a wronging phase, in which players are dealt a hand of vengeance cards which show the different bosses in the game, and they're going to draft them, and then they're going to select 3 to put into play to portray how they've been wronged. Now, these cards are going to cause damage to the stats of the players, which are going to affect their mind, their skill and their health. If any of these stats ever get to 0, then you are out of the game. Just for 1 round, and you have to heal before you can come back in again. But there are chances to heal. Now, this shows that Kaya here has been wronged by Sisyphus twice and Dai Shi. Now, before heading out into one of the 6 dens, which are always in play, we're just showing 1, she's going to prepare herself in one of the montage rounds, and they come for each of the 3 combat rounds. In the montage round, each player adds dice to the pool according to the value of their mind, and then they're going to draft dice after they've been rolled according to the value of their mind again. And they've got various results on them. Players can heal. They can help by abilities. They're going to get increased speed, which dictates turn order. They're going to get recon, which will allow them to check which bosses are in which dens, so they're not going in blindly. Or there's also a wild side, which will add to anything. In this case, Kaja's going to draft these dice, and they're going to get added to montage cards from the player's hand, which get played out into these spaces on the top of the board. Now, these spaces boost the actions, and we'll just go through a couple of them now. In this case, the first action is to purchase, as stated here, with a power of 1, 2, 3, 4 with the dice, and that allows us to buy these abilities, either permanent abilities, which cost more, or item upgrades, which are going to be able to use once during combat and then throw away. Now, Kaja's got a special ability, as they all have. In her case, she's a veteran. She can trade movement for damage. We're going to carry on like that and make her a bit of a machine. So we've got an arm lopper here, which will increase her melee damage, and then we'll buy her some brass knuckles, which cost 1, 2, 3, and then a machete, 4, and that's all her money spent. She's also going to heal. Now, in this case, she's got 3 hearts she can spend. Health is the most common damage you're going to take from enemies, and it's the easiest to heal, because for 1, you can heal 1. However, for broken and stress, it costs 3 at least to heal them, and some damage is more severe, and that's even more difficult to get rid of, and that will hang around for a long time. So with our 3 hearts, we'll heal our skill, because that's going to give us loads of dice in combat. The last action we're going to take here is recon. This gives you recon tokens. Now, as I said, there are 6 of these dens on the board, and you're really looking to target the bosses who have wronged you, and that's how you're going to score most points. So by using recon, you can look at these cards which have been set down, and you can see whether any of the dens particularly suit you to score more points. Now, in this case, I think we got lucky, and it's Sisyphus. After recon, we'd have a chance to play more vengeance cards to give us an opportunity to take more damage, but in exchange for being able to score more points on this round. Then we can rearrange our abilities, then we're going to go in. Now, what gets revealed doesn't get revealed to everyone until the player decides to go into a particular den, and then we flip this over for everyone, and we get to add the boss, their Sisyphus with their minion, and the henchman of the particular gang. In this case, it's the Lords. There are 4 gangs in the game, and it gives their bosses and minions particular abilities, like the Hell Riders, who will steal combat dice from you, the Zeus clan, who can shoot you from far away, the Tengu Kai, who will beat you up in close quarters, or in our case, the Lords. Now, usually enemies activate after you activate in the combat round, but the Lords go before you if you trigger them. There's also these different types of minions around the board who might be tougher, might shoot at you, might block incoming bullet damage when they're in an area, and various other things. And all the different dens will be different, and they start at a difficulty of 2 and they go up through 3 and 4 as the game progresses. For a combat round, you take a number of dice equal to your skill, in our case 4, but we get a bonus green one, and you roll them up. And then for each round, it's a little dice puzzle as to what you want to do. Now, that's a nothing that gets discarded. This symbol is an enemy activation. If you roll 3 of them on a round, you get to discard 1 and re-roll them. But if you're ever left with 2 or 1, that means the enemies are going to activate at the end of your round when you've taken all your actions. What we've got here is 2 range damage, which we can fire in. Now, these minions are going to absorb any range damage that we happen to do, or we've got 2 close quarter damage which we can use, and there's not a lot of use from our abilities here, so we're going to play it safe, use our 2 far away damage, take these guys out, and then just sit it out. Now the enemies are going to activate, but we're not in the same area as any of these enemies, and there's no one that can shoot, so we're all good. We'll go to round 2. See, there we go. We rolled 3 enemy activations. That one can get thrown away, and we re-roll this. 2 more. I am rolling terribly. Now, we can run into this space here, but that does come with some problems. If we were leaving an area with enemies in it, that would have caused us damage, but as we weren't, we're okay. We're now going to use our 2 close quarters damage to take these 2 guys out, and then we're going to shoot in here, and the minion gets in the way. So we've got 1 more round to get in there and take out Sisyphus and have our vengeance. The enemies are going to activate again first because we're fighting the lords, but they're going to do nothing. We're going to have to use our run ability to charge in there, but now we've got plenty of damage in order to take out Sisyphus and claim our points. Now we clear this area of minions, so we get this. If we had just cleared the area of minions and not Sisyphus, we'd have scored the points on the top edge of the board, in this case 2. But if we left Sisyphus there, this would respawn for next turn. Everyone will know who's there, but you have to do the same fight again. If we did defeat our boss, which we did, we look at our vengeance cards in play. In this case, we've got 2 of them. So that's going to score us 4 more points, and we can put them away to one side because Sisyphus has been well and truly beaten down. If you're feeling particularly ambitious, there is a 3-minute timer which you can put on everyone for their combat rounds to add a bit of a movie real-time flavour to it. As well as scoring points for beating people up, there are 2 out of 5 missions in play which will give you points for having less stress or for beating up bosses of all different gangs. And there are always 2 objectives in play. For example, in this case, we went through here, beat everyone up and didn't take any damage, so we could score this for 1 point and it would get replaced with another one. Blind Rage, charge into a den and clear it out when you haven't had a look at it, or Henchman Hunt for defeating lots of henchmen. You're going to score extra points and claim that before anyone else. This has been a Game Pit pit stop for Vengeance. For more videos like this, check out the Game Pit channel on YouTube, and for more in-depth coverage of gaming, please find the Game Pit podcast.